welcome back if you're here. I appreciate that. Laura's here again. Do you ever find yourself one of those nights where you just can't sleep for one reason or another? Yeah, this is one of those nights, and I'm gonna take you down that rabbit hole with me. That's when I really start to think, and so many things come to my mind. So I might as well take you on this journey in my head with me. So, yeah, a little bit about this house. Well, this is the workspace. You've seen it here. That I'll go over in a minute. But a little bit about the house itself. It's just over 100 years old. And it has lots and lots of great texture and uniqueness to it. But that being said, there's a little bit painted mural on the wall. The architect of this area, at the time, this was his house. But yeah, along with the greatness and the coolness, it's starting to settle, and really we're trying to play catch up, trying to keep it from sinking, and not really sinking, but falling apart. And we just learned that our fireplace has been pretty much rendered useless. At least for the time being. It would cost us at least $5,000 simply to just get it to be safe and maybe last our winter season, which it's January now. We only got a few more months, but it's getting to the coldest ones here in the Midwest. Anyhow, I just acquired, and that's not a big deal to most of you anyway, probably, but a couple of good old-fashioned Dell computers. Back in my day, that was the wheel, that was the bomb. They were easy to work on, great customer service. Yeah, I used to be a computer geek. That was in my past life. Still remember it all. Anyway, I combined the two into one. It's not much, but it's free 40 gig of workspace that I'm going to start just housing my videos, just to keep them off my working laptop and such, just to store them, and then I'll do something external if I want to get them off there. But anyway, for free, I figure what the heck I'm going to use them. But I'm also, with the design of these Dell computers, if we can see it here, it has the circle. And that, once one is a shell, reminded me of something. So I had to really channel my inner Martina from Nerdforge. What would she see that circle as? What would Martina do? What would she see there? Oh, wise ones of the creative world, what would Martina see this circle as?
The world has changed and still changing. Can you feel it in the water? Can you feel it in the air? Can you just put your hands in the air like you just don't care? Much of what once was and how it was, it is nearly lost. It is nearly gone. For there are not many who remember it. And those that do, well, they are slim to none. It began with the mixing of some extraordinary ingredients. 2 parts were given to by water, given by that which is the oldest and wisest element, living with a ferocious delicateness like none other. 1 part was given by glue, that which is able to hold everything together, and two heaping tablespoons of salt to prevent mold's evil spirit from taking over. For in all of these ingredients, yes, they are quite able to stand alone. But yet, you see, they need yet another. Paper pulp demands their presence, for it cannot stand alone. In a land nearly forgotten, wearing jeans in the fiery heat of our new homeroom, AC in school, a luxury we did not have. We just knew it would be our doom. Those days of going to school uphill in 6 feet of snow both ways, we had to fight off critters with our loose-leaf notebook. Man, those were the days. Those were the days we learned paper mache.
And then it hit me. Yep, it hit me. That is going to be the opening to Bilbo Baggins' Shire house. So I'm going to build over here out of, I'll tell you in a minute, a little storage area for my computers here in the fireplace next to it, using various materials instead of foam. I'm in all this plaster stuff, plastic mold, and I'm thinking, why did we get away from plaster of Paris? Or paper mache, I think it's paper mache. That's lighter. The old I mean, yeah, we can't find newspapers anymore, but glue, water, same thing that we do to put stuff on our models, it just involves paper. So I'm going to try something, and I'm going to go back and I'm going to use cardboard to make the landscaping along with paper mache. I dug out the shredder, so we are shredding paper, and I'm just going to, it doesn't have to look pretty, it just has to be sturdy, lightweight, and long-lasting. Lightweight, remember, because I'm definitely going to make some of my dioramas, however you want to pronounce it, portable, because I want to enter some model contests. And I gotta be able to scale up and down the way my brain is working. So that'll make more sense as we go along the way. But also, inside the fireplace, sorry you can't see it at the moment, we have some, my fiance, her family came over from the old country, and they have, as you can see, the trunks. We have 3 or 4 trunks that came from the old country, and she wants to put photo albums in the trunks for safekeeping and whatnot. So I had the idea to put them in the non-working fireplace and around it to look like treasure chests, placing gold nuggets around, make a little dragon tail and Smaug's eye just in the background with lighting, and all you can see is his eye and the outline of his head, but the tail wrapping around the treasure. I thought that's something probably Martina would probably think of. So, I will be channeling my inner Martina. Now, back to the thing that was on the desk. That. Here, this goes with it. Let me pause. Okay, yeah, alright. I think I covered everything while I was in the living room. Okay, I need to tell you that is not normally the way our living room looks. Before I get my arse chewed by publicly putting our living room out there. No, that's temporary. Those are art supplies that have not found a home yet. They're just sitting in front of the non-usable fireplace. So yeah, that I better get that out there and let everybody know that. Plaster Paris, yeah. If somebody knows of a reason why not to try, I'd like to know. But it, glue, water, 2-to-1 ratio, a tablespoon, 2 tablespoons of salt so it doesn't mold. And you're back in your grade school days doing paper mache. I don't know. Something. I mean, I love all the material and all the new stuff and cool stuff, but man, we got away from the basics. Anyway, yeah, and I used to chew. I know some of you might recognize that. Those are chew containers, but since before COVID, I've had to quit nicotine, basically quit drinking, quit any type of tobacco, what have you. And I've chewed since I was 20. So thank goodness to some people out there. They have created, so they say, zero nicotine, zero tobacco. It's all herbal. I didn't miss a heartbeat. I had to quit. That was hard, but I found this after because I did start getting the itch again, and I didn't want to go back. I had quit smoking. I don't know. That was just another stupid phase. Didn't start till I was 35. Quit when I was 45. Anyway, yeah, I've had to quit a lot since the COVID and do surgery. After surgery, after surgery. I still need ulnar tunnel, but man, after sex, you take what you can get and how you feel. I don't think I want to do it again. But anyway, yeah, there's a plug. I don't know if that's a no-no or not, but it has helped me out. So yeah, that is a bunch of those washed out and glued together. That is going to be my old wooden grain silo next to, and here is the makings for the barn. If I remember correctly, I think I did this to ratio so far. That's on 1/24th scale. A half inch equals a foot. But yeah, that's the framework. Sorry, the framework of the barn. But it's going to have a little lean-to or side areas. That's where the car will be parked, or had been parked. It's going to be pulled out by a tractor for the person slash me who is buying it. Here's more of my working out the intricates on it. There's a few of you that have followed that, man, your barns are amazing. And I about pooped myself seeing how simple the materials are. And it's all in the technique, baby. You can make that old expression, you can't polish a turd. Well, you guys can really do a pretty good job of polishing a piece of cardboard. Anyway, I wanted to utilize these things for some reason. I've been keeping them and keeping them. And I was like, man, they got to be good for something. Well, I did find if you go way, way back to the first grain silos, they made them, uh, and using our ratio here, this is about a 5 foot diameter grain silo and only about 15 from the top of the base, 15 foot tall. But if you were by yourself, or had a small farm and small family, I guess you really wouldn't need much more than that. But I see a lot of pictures that still have these barely standing next to the new grain silo. So I thought, aha, there I go. I'm going to make me an old wooden one. See how my painting techniques are to go alongside of the barn. And this is just simple molding clay, from the kids section at your hobby shop. I can't remember the exact, I think it was a Crayola version, but I don't remember. But you know how they would have done concrete back in the day. I mean, some of you remember playing at your grandparents' house, and the concrete that looks like, what the heck were they thinking when they made that? But that's all they had. So I've even got some. Man, I took some straight pins because I used the tips for the straight pins as you saw in my model. Maybe you didn't for some of the like the door locks and whatnot. But the rest of the stem I'm using as like I guess what they would have done with rebar back in the day. But yeah, I'm sure you remember playing on that one piece of broken up concrete where, oh crap, it's some rusty metal sticking out. Boom, there you go. Because I'm sure this is over 100 years old, so I got to make it appear that way. And that's a bottom of a Pringles can down there, because the cans of chew fit perfectly inside of it for stability. And down here is going to be buried in the ground or what have you. Maybe I'll add some more modeling clay to it. I haven't decided yet, but and those are popsicle sticks that I got a saw from Amazon. It didn't have a really a name to it, but when I got it, it's twofold for cutting things that I can't do by hand or that I want to do in quantity, which will be the popsicle sticks, cutting them. And I think I came up with 3 different sizes to put them together to equal the right ratio. Anyway, I'll go into that later when I get back into it. But yeah, the saw, it was used. It was missing some parts. The blades were crap, basically, so I'm not going to. I don't know. I'm getting a new saw, so I'm gonna wait and see. They said to go ahead and make a complete saw and send the rest back. So it's not supposed to be here for another few weeks. Coming on the slow boat, I suppose. On the tariff train from China. Just kidding. Anyway, so yeah, that's that. So I'm sitting here. I'm gonna take you on a little more journey tomorrow. It's like 3 a.m. But yeah, show you where I do or plan to do herbs and pre-planting and distilling my own moonshine for personal use here in this state. You are allowed to keep X amount for personal use, which if I can ever get a hazmat suit, we have a root cellar or whatever they call it, where they would can veggies, vegetable cellar. But yeah, it has gotten away from us, and there's things growing in there that you shouldn't be breathing in. So that's going to take a little bit of time. But anyway, it's all right. If it's worth doing and can be done, gonna get it done. But I'll show you some of that, show you the space in the attic before it gets too cold, where I'm putting up a lighting system that's quite unique. Also putting up some lights tomorrow outside, or lights, cameras outside tomorrow to go with ring and such. We've been having reports of coyotes running around here, which is odd. But anyway, with our 4 dogs, I'm not really hip on that. I'd like to know what they're up against when they go out as much as possible. So yeah, there's my rabbit hole for the evening, and I sitting here thinking about all the projects, and uh, this is probably going to be the last one where I talk on my old phone. I ordered a new camera. The camera I had we use for ghost hunting. Yes, we do that too. You're going with me on our pre-wedding trip, wedding in April this year. We're heading to Florida uh, for wedding, and we're going to be road tripping, so some of it's going to involve ghost hunting, and yeah, that's another hobby. You ever heard the expression, I'm sure, the jack of all trades, or I was thinking of the other one. What is it? Where, what's it called? It's an expression where you're not a fair weather fan, I'll think of it in a minute. Anyway, yeah. So I'm doing a hobby room upstairs. I've got some lighting that'll be interesting to put up there to show you, and what I'm going to do with trying to do some decorating and also some cool uh, ways of storage up there. That's one thing about this house too. There's no closet. There's 2 closets. It's actually one closet made into 2. And when I take it back, the one my fiance's mother, whom we're caretakers for, is has a closet. But lots of shift robes, lots of cabinets, lots of cabinet that tore our whole house up and made us redecorate right there. Just one simple cabinet, but hey, you don't know me yet. Anyhow, let's see. Um, Man, I can't think of the expression. It's where you're bouncing from one project to the next, to the next, to the next. Oh, I know. All those cute T-shirts that you see with gaming people and whatnot. I'm not procrastinating. I'm doing side quests. Ha ha ha. Well, what's wrong with side quests? The answer, riddle me that, Batman. What's wrong with side quests? That's why we're here, isn't it? To do. I mean, where are we going? Is there an end spot? Are we trying to hurry to get somewhere? Well, not that I've seen or found out. I'm not trying to get anywhere. So, my life's a bunch of side quests. So, go on side quests with me. Haha. We'll see what happens. Okay, now here we are in the hobby room. I know, it's not much, but it's a room. And it's a blank canvas. So, there you are. Just a little bit around. I've got big plans for you Secret Life of Pet fans. You know that saying. But I'll get into more detail later. This is the room. This is where fun gets done. Partially. Some of it anyway. But yeah, it doesn't look like much now. But yeah, it'll be an excellent place of creativity. Okay, folks, that's it. I'll get into more detail with everything later. I want to get back to my model, so this is enough intro stuff and enough about me to get moving and testing out my new equipment. Remember, passion perpetuates purpose. Mars out. Okay, so trying out the new camera, and as mentioned, I am in the basement where I will be doing obviously laundry, but this is where I will set up my home still. In this state, we are allowed to have X amount of gallons for personal use per year of moonshine. So I am going to, while discovering herbs and old herb remedies, a lot of the ingredients and things call for a high proof alcohol. So I am going to make my own so I can do my own stuff instead of having to pay for so much. But this is a cool old, I'd have to guess 50s maybe, 40s. I guess it's a gas stove here. But this thing is very cool. I'm going to set it up. My still up here. It will look pretty cool. Giving this now. Hello, Natty. Yes, we have a cat in the basement. That's Natasha. Yes, well, we'll bring down a treat in a little bit. Yes, the 4 doctor upstairs, don't worry. So I have shelving, basic little area next to the hot water heater. Gonna put up some shelves. There's a bathroom, I'm not gonna show you that. And I have a sink, and then there's, yeah, anyway, this is where I'll set up. Start growing herbs inside my garden inside, and see what it, how it grows. Hope this camera turns out well. I tried it first time, and it doesn't like a lot of movement, especially when the light shifts. But that's okay. I don't need to be walking around a lot to show what I want to do with this awesome camera so far. So anyway, next stop, hobby room upstairs.